Hello, everyone. I am coming to you more than 2 weeks after Drive to Survive has released to finally watch the last episode. I have just been so unbelievably busy these last few weeks, both just in my own life, but also just having to crank out all of this race content and watching Drive to Survive and making videos, and I just have had no time to get to this episode. And by the time this is edited and put out, I don't even know at what point you will see this. So I'm sure interest has waned by this point, but there's that part of me that hates to have a project incomplete, so I need to finish off the season. Yeah, so let's get to Netflix and see what's up. This last episode is called Endgame. As the season nears its climax, the outcome hangs on a knife edge. Can underdog McLaren stand a chance against the powerhouses of Ferrari and Red Bull? I'm not sure I would call McLaren an underdog, but that's just me. So, yeah, let's play it right now.
So what is this? This is for a Sphere in Vegas.
Okay, they did recordings for the Sphere. What was the meme on this one? Was it Checo watching himself, like, do terrible? Can't remember.
Daniel Ricciardo has been dropped by the RB team.
Can't stop smiling.
No one saw that coming.
Arrivederci.
How's that move looking now?
Christian could find himself in a very difficult situation as regards his future if he doesn't somehow manage to bring home at least one of
I
those
highly doubt
championships.
that, considering what they did to try and keep him on after he was under a lot of fire last year, to put it lightly. Look at all those shoes. Wow. Oh, they're finally going to Sao Paulo. They've never gone to this race before.
Hey guys. Norris? Oh. My name's George Russell, not Lando Norris. Oh, I'm sorry. Clearly a big F1 fan,
Yikes.
After the race on Sunday in Mexico, what about the wheel-to-wheel racing? Are you going to change the way you go racing this weekend?
It's my 10th year in Formula One. I'm a 3-time world champion. I think I know what I'm doing.
Mic drop. I don't think they've shown what happened in US or Mexico yet, have they? I wonder if they'll cover that at all here.
He has to take pole.
Sunday qualifying. I forgot that happened. But at least they got that fact right. That would be something they would hide in the edit usually.
Are you okay?
Colapinto mentioned when he's in the wall. And are they gonna hide the fact that he was out because of Stroll crashing? Okay, they actually are. That's good.
Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen out of qualifying.
This is an absolute gift.
Yuki!
Fernando.
Yuki's hiding in third.
Your championship rival starting so far back that he won't even be able to see him in his mirrors.
Bom, bom, bom.
Max, start right in front of me. Yeah. Remember turn one, that one. That's your chance. Be a hero. There's more in being a hero than being zero. Yeah. Good or bad, they'll remember you. Told him to give him the trophy already now. Trophy? They've already got his name engraved. Yeah.
Oh my god, this is funny. Maybe he was a little bit overconfident going into it. Let's see his fantastic start here. Just his entire onboard all the way up to the end of turn 4? 3? 3.
Max Verstappen passes the Williams, then the Sauber. Max Verstappen.
Just insane.
Sergio Perez finish. That won't help Red Bull's fight for the constructors.
I don't know why they're trying to pretend that Red Bull was in the constructors fight at this point. Like, they were like at least 50 points behind, I think.
P10 already.
Verstappen started 17th on the grid. He's made up 7 places by the first corner on lap 2. We need to keep him behind.
It's crazy, like, none of them blocked the inside on him. Like, the only one who did, I think, was Charles. Because he knows what Max does.
It was only 4 minutes I stay out.
Cover that, Max.
Okay.
This is the stuff I can't see fuck all about.
So Lando was calling for a red flag.
Max Verstappen moves into second, ahead of Lando Norris.
Are they gonna show the red flag
Looks
at all?
like Norris made the wrong call.
Or I guess did they red flag? Yeah, they did red flag it.
So Lando leading the race is Verstappen. Oh, fucking you in. Keep going for now, please. Keep going for now.
Oh, they're really showing how we fell apart in this race.
Max Verstappen wins the Sao Paulo Grand Prix.
Just crazy. Easily his best drive of all time. Some people would call it luck, but it was a calculated risk to stay out in anticipation of a red flag. And he just was able to make up positions in a way that no one else was. I think that was the happiest we'd seen Max in a while, too. Said he hadn't won in so long. Lando.
I didn't sleep.
Oh, wow.
26 hours I went straight.
Jeez.
So my head was like, oh yeah, it's fucked. Yeah.
Man.
Now it's game over. So.
Yeah, I don't know. Even though Lando made mistakes there, it was lost with McLaren pitting him, and Lando wouldn't have been able to make up the points he needed to, especially given what happened in Qatar. So it's like, I don't know. I can understand why he beat himself up about that.
Oh my God, 4 times.
But
Thank you guys.
I was wondering when that sphere would come in.
Monkey bastard. Next year I'll get you. Next year.
I told you already many times. There will be a day anyway.
It's good that they've kept their relationship. Like, there were definitely points last year where it was quite contentious between the two of them, but I think all of them seem to do quite, or at least all of the youngsters seem to do a very good job of separating what happens on the track and off. Except for George, apparently. Which I'm surprised they have not talked about that at all yet. I mean, I guess it didn't happen till Qatar, but I don't know. Maybe they'll add that in for this next season, because sometimes they do that where they, like, certain things that happen in the season prior, they save because it's going to be continued in the next season.
The prize fund pot in Formula One is about $130 million.
So it's that much just for first. Huh. So they're skipping Qatar as well. And then Charles had a penalty in this one, right? And dropped down, so he had to fight his way back up.
It's a universal symbol of sporting success and passion. Every driver dreams that one day they'll race for Ferrari.
Ferrari is the epitome of good on paper, bad in execution.
Let's Abu Dhabi do this, shall we?
Abu Dhabi do this? What is this? George Russell?
What you done in the last race was masterpiece driving, honestly. I never believed that you were able to do stuff like that. I think I was a fucking wanker. No, it's true. It's true.
But we keep the 6 and we have a nice Christmas party.
Not I tell you, don't worry. Don't worry. Ciao.
To say simple, obviously I want to do a good job.
Now what is important is finishing the race, no crash.
Okay. Interesting. So maybe that's why Jack didn't push that hard. He was like, okay, I gotta make sure that I don't crash. So maybe that took a little bit of the pace off.
You were quick yesterday, so I think you were quick. You were coasting. No, I was like, I love it.
I'm starting to wonder that, like, maybe Charles is really good at playing mind games with people. It seems like he's always kind of making those kinds of comments before the races. It's funny.
The only guys that you have like a wild card is Max wanted to do something stupid.
Just don't take us out.
Yes.
Whoa, whoa.
I can't fucking take it anymore. Just put me out of my fucking misery.
Oh no. Is this qualifying or the race that they're showing right now? This looks like race.
At the Yas Marina circuit, the circuit that's hosted more season finales than any other track.
Really? God, that's depressing. Literally any other track would be better than this one.
McLaren under pressure for Verstappen.
Yeet. Oh, they're showing his triple overtake. Let's go.
Up to 12 from 19th, and he isn't done yet.
Oh, beauty.
But Sergio Perez is now spun around. Perez retires to confirm Red Bull third in the constructors.
Well done. We are P8.
I can't remember what Ferrari had to do to beat McLaren here. I think they had to have someone win the race to be able to win over McLaren. Like, it was a huge gap between them. Like 20-something points, I think.
Give it everything, yeah.
Can Sainz use this opportunity?
I have a feeling that if Charles was the one in that position and not Carlos, then they might have been able to do it. But yeah, it was just unlucky. Like, Charles had probably the best race pace of anyone in that race. But he just got so unlucky with that group penalty.
Be close to Bottas.
Just where Bottas took him out.
Here comes Kevin Magnussen.
Oh, poor K-Mag.
Hamilton in his final race for Mercedes is chasing down his teammate.
Oh, we get the last lap overtake in this? I actually still don't know if I've seen it. They never showed it on the broadcast, and I like never saw it in the replays.
Overtake is available.
Here we go.
It's hammer time.
Look at that. Wow. Incredible.
These tyres.
I'm so confused by all this heavy breathing stuff. Like, it's not something you can pick up on the radio. So I don't know if they got the drivers or they're just like clipping them breathing in the interviews they do and just like turning the volume up. It's just so weird. Like, it's gotta be just like stock audio, you know?
Lando Norris wins. McLaren are world champions.
I just love how McLaren and Ferrari were congratulating each other. It just seems like there's so much more mutual respect between those two teams than there are with anyone with Red Bull or even anyone with Mercedes. And I wonder if it is kind of the perception that like Red Bull is like, they aren't like based on a car company. And so I wonder if that there's that like undercurrent of like lack of respect for them, plus just with how that team kind of conducts themselves in general, I think people don't seem to like. I think McLaren and Ferrari are, plus Williams as well, are kind of the most kind of historical teams, and so I think that kind of carries through in like the amount of respect that they have for each other. I don't know what it was like in the years when Mercedes and Ferrari were battling each other, so I'd be curious to see what that would have been like, but maybe we'll get that next year. That's kind of the feeling that I'm getting, is that I think Mercedes would probably be the odds-on favorite to have the best car, given that they've been the best coming out of an engine rig change before, but you can just never know.
The last time that McLaren won a Constructors' Championship, neither Lando or Oscar were even born.
That's crazy.
Awesome. Enjoy 1 year.
Yes, Fred. Although it's not gonna happen now.
Lewis Hamilton coming to the team for 2025. It's going to be thrilling to see what they achieve together.
So far, it's a P10 and a DSQ. Oh, God.
Leaving Ferrari, having clinched the world
Oh,
championship.
yeah, poor Carlos. Just never quite got it there with him.
Very disappointed, very frustrated, and sad, very sad.
Are they going to show us sad Charles here now?
You guys have now seen me emotional, so with that and with the video, I think it's the perfect way to close this chapter, and thank you so much, Fred. Thank you to all the team. Thank you.
Aw, Carlos.
I'm going to say well done.
Shake hands, right? Good sport.
Absolutely. absolutely.
See, he's gonna talk about it, and then are we ever gonna see it?
Very well done. Thank you. Very, very well done. No. Sorry for getting your blood pressure going.
Makes me work a little harder.
Anyway, enjoy it.
Thank you very much.
Very well done.
Cheers.
Brief. So different compared to the vibe with Fred.
I think this year's definitely made me a better driver.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Understand more things, let's say, on how to race.
Do you think you can win the Drivers' Championship next year?
I believe I got what it takes, so I'm excited for next year.
So far this year, he's done better. I think the sprint race in China was like a bit of a misstep, but it doesn't really matter as much because it's a sprint.
People will go.
Daniel.
Final interview together.
No, his
Final one.
tickets.
No, I can't say it.
So next year I'll be driving for what is the old name?
Gotta carry on the Lewis tradition.
So take care, my friend. See you on the track.
Aww. That was a cute way to end it. So that was season 7 of Drive to Survive. That last episode was probably one of the weakest of this series or this season, just because I don't know, like the last episode is always just wrapping everything up, and so unless there's actually a drivers' championship battle, like it isn't like super enticing. Overall, I think season 7 was probably the strongest season since season 1 and 2. I think there's been like a few like really standout episodes over the years, but as a season as a whole, I think there was 2 episodes in that season that were kind of weak, and the rest of them were all really, really well done. I think the standout episodes for me were for sure the Carlos Sainz one, because I think it was hilarious. The Charles Leclerc Monaco one, because I think Drive to Survive is sometimes at its best when it's showing those like one race stories, and that was definitely one for Charles. And then as well the Singapore episode, where they did it as more of kind of like a vlog style instead of kind of the more interview format, and followed all of the younger drivers throughout the Singapore weekend, which I think was really, really neat. I like for them to do it again, but then it might also not have the same feel if they did it again, or maybe if they picked 5 different drivers to follow instead. Or, ooh, they should do it with the rookies. I think that would be so fun to follow all 5 rookies throughout their weekend. I think that would be really cool if they could do something like that. I think overall, quite good. I feel like this season they did a little bit better job in keeping it more factual. I think some of the races, I understand why they clipped things together certain ways in order to kind of provide a more summarized version of what happened. Obviously, the George DSQ was kind of an egregious one, but I kind of understand their perspective of that really didn't play into the story that they were trying to tell, and it was the fact that George drove really, really well that race and kind of gave Mercedes a reason to trust him for the future, and whether or not the DSQ happened didn't really factor into that. Maybe they could have rectified this by like mentioning it in a later episode that he got DSQ'd from that, or like in a footnote or something. I don't know, but I think I kind of understand why they did that. And then they also didn't make up these like super contentious relationships between teammates. Like whenever I think of that, I kind of think of how they first showed Daniel and Lando, but they haven't really done anything like that in a while. So I think they've definitely kind of found that sweet spot. Anyways, let me know in the comments down below what you thought of this episode as well as the season as a whole. Hopefully you will see this reaction at some point. Who even knows at this point?